Hi, everyone. It's Denise Brown from the Caregiving Years Training Academy. When you're caring for a family member or friend, you interact with 15 different caregiving systems. And I truly believe that you are managing, navigating, and advocating within at least 10 of those 15. And at some times during your caregiving experience, you might be interacting with several of them all at one time. No wonder we're exhausted. Let's talk about the family system. So you'll understand how exhausting it is to navigate the family system. Here's what's so interesting though. It's not just one family system. It's the family system that involves your caree. It's the family system that involves other members of your family. And it could be your own immediate family system. And you're navigating between these systems to try to get consensus about decisions, to try to move forward with plans and strategies, and to support each other. And sometimes that can feel like just tall orders all around. You're also trying to remain someone that you feel good about as a mother, as a daughter, as a brother or sister, as a spouse. Oh my gosh. So we have the systems, but then we also have who we are within the system. And we feel the pressure to be the best parent, the best daughter or son, the best sibling. And there are circumstances during caregiving that truly make it impossible to be that, right? Because it's just bringing out the worst. And it feels like it's the worst in everyone. And as the primary family caregiver, you're navigating the worst of everyone during the worst time and trying to be at your best. It is exhausting. So as you think about the family systems that you navigate, you can actually start to put them into, I guess you'd call them buckets, and then figure out your priorities for each family system. And then within each family system, you can define who you are, and then again, create a priority about who you are within the family systems. I often think about a caregiving situation as being one about managing the priorities with the understanding that it's okay to have one priority within each moment. I think we sometimes feel like we can manage multiple priorities within one moment. And I find that impossible. I have tried it. If you have figured out how to do it, please let me know, because I just think that's too hard to do. So if we understand what our priority is in the morning, for instance, we can communicate within whichever family system we're in about that priority, and then do that throughout the day. Our priorities will change based on time of the day of the week, our seasons, our energy level, our availability of resources. All of that impacts what our priorities are within our systems. And the other thing that impacts our priorities is what's happening within caregiving. So when there's a crisis, the priority is the caregiving crisis. And I think if we realize that we have priorities and that we can communicate about the priorities, it can help us with some of our stress. I think because we are so intuitive and have this amazing ability to just respond when something is needed or someone needs us without having anybody ask us, we believe that everybody has that innate ability. And the truth is, they don't. What's interesting is it's not that we read someone's mind, but we read their emotion. We read their struggle. We read their need. That's amazing. It's also very unusual because others in our life might not have that gift. And because it's a gift to us that actually is something that we've just received, we haven't worked for it, we didn't get a degree for it, it's just part of us, it's our essence. It can make it seem like everybody has that in their essence. And the truth is, they don't. And we forget that because it's so natural for us. So knowing that we have priorities and it's important to communicate that those priorities helps us then keep everybody moving forward. So no one is guessing, no one is making assumptions, no one has unclear, unrealistic expectations, especially ourselves, right? We want to make sure that we're not holding ourselves to an expectation that's just simply impossible. So the family systems, again, you might be a part of multiple family systems, and then you're navigating within each family system, and you might have a different role within each family system. So if you can separate those systems out a little bit and then think about what your role is within those family systems, and then think about what your priority is within those systems, and then communicate about it, it can help when you navigate those systems, because then you've communicated in such a way that hopefully no one can come back later and say, well, I didn't know that. So one of the things about a family system is there's always someone in the family that you think, oh my gosh, they are sucking the life out of me. And we have someone like that in our family. And we've committed to, for the most part, communicating with her so that she was not surprised, until we just realized communicating with her was hurting us. So you'll know too, when there is just someone in the family system that makes managing the system too hard because they bring too much drama in, too much unnecessary drama during a time where you feel like, well, this is already dramatic enough. We don't need unnecessary drama. And so for us, in our family system with my siblings, my parents, although my mom has since died, we did really talk about how do we communicate with this oldest sibling, and then finally decided, because it wasn't a positive experience for any of us. There was no positive outcome. There was no potential for a positive outcome, that we finally decided to just let her go. I mean, it's hard, right? I mean, it is hard. And I also want to just mention that the family system is one of those systems that actually is usually interacting with another system. The healthcare system, the medical system, the legal system. We bring those systems together to try to make decisions, reach consensus, and sometimes that's just really hard. And especially in the healthcare system doesn't care about our family system for the most part. They're not going to give us the extra time we need to have a huddle to talk about, well, what do we do about the sibling that just drives us crazy? They're going to say, you need to make a decision now. So there's very little room within the other systems to accommodate what our family systems need. And that's like the energy that just, it's like combustion, right? I mean, you can see the explosions and why there's explosions, because other systems don't accommodate the family system. And boy, I mean, our family systems is our priority. It's our priority. And it's frustrating when the other systems can't accommodate what's a true priority for us. And that's why it's exhausting, because all these systems are colliding and we're the one navigating all of them. So I talked about 15 caregiving systems. Today, we just talked about family. But if you're navigating at least 10 of those systems, you're the only one that interacts with all the systems. The other systems don't interact with each other. You do. Wow. Wow. Okay. I would love for you to share your data about your caregiving experience. I'm collecting our individual data in order to share collectively what caregiving looks like. So the data I'm collecting is a little different than typically what a normal research project about caregiving would focus on, because I want to tell this story in a different way. I want people to know that we manage midnight emergencies. No one ever asks us, how many midnight emergencies have you managed? But holy cow, we've all done it. Let's talk about it. Let's show what it's like to manage a 24/7 experience like caregiving. And I think we have really compelling numbers that tell a different type of story about caregiving that really give an insight into our reality. So in our show notes, I've included a link to the survey. It'll take you about 5 minutes. Now, I do give you a heads up about the numbers I'm going to ask you for. So it might take you another 5 minutes to get your numbers before you take the survey. So 10 minutes. And then at the end of the survey, you'll receive a certificate that honors your work navigating, managing, and advocating within those 15 caregiving systems. And then you have access to different templates to actually share your data on social media. Thank you so much for doing this survey. I can't tell you how much it means to me. It was one of my midnight ideas, and I thought, oh gosh, is this a good idea or a bad idea? And then I started working on it, and I thought, this is a compelling idea. And so when you share your data, you create a story for all of us to tell that reflects the reality of our experience. So I'm so grateful that you take those few minutes to take the survey. And then when you do, share your certificate on social media. Use our hashtag caring stats, and I'll reshare it. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate all that you do. And I so appreciate when you reach out to interact with me. It's a blessing for me to meet you. Okay, thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.